If there was a pill that can do what journaling does for our well-being, there'll be a lineup to get that pill. So in this video, I want to share with you the benefits of journaling, one way to get started, and some key pitfalls to avoid. This is Kasim Al-Mashat, Registered Psychologist and mindfulness teacher, and I tell you, this subject of journaling is really near and dear to my heart. Not only do I share this with clients I work with in the counseling capacity, but also it's something that has impacted my life positively since I was a teen. It was actually introduced to me by a counselor after a traumatic event, and it was a really challenging time in my life. And 30 years later, or plus, I'm still journaling. So originally when the counselor mentioned to me that I want you to start journaling, I kind of rolled my eyes like, boring. I don't have time for this. What a waste of time. What is that gonna do? Like, blah, 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 right? What am I gonna write? I didn't understand the concept, and she explained it to me so well. And I gave it a chance. And when I gave it a chance, it surprised me. It really was such an anchoring self-care activity that has helped me and continues to help me. So what are some of the outcomes that the research has discovered over these decades? Well, one of them is health outcome. This includes a reduction in blood pressure, improvement in immune functioning, a reduction in visits to the hospital, reduction in visits to the doctor, stress-related visits to the doctor, improvement in mood, reduction in anxiety, an improvement in emotion, affect. There's also some research that looks at reduction in some intrusive thoughts, the thoughts that come in and bother us. And also, there's an aspect of the psychological well-being. So people rate higher on psychological well-being, reduction in stress, and working with symptoms, whether it's physical pain or arthritis, just as a sample of some of the research out there. And then there is behavioral benefits. So this includes a reduction in turnover, absenteeism at work, improvements in grades for students, improvement in sports performance. So it's like a wide range on a behavioral level. So there's just a lot of things that can really be benefited from. Not this kind of special thing, miracle, that's gonna just remove everything, but really quite an effective arsenal for psychological well-being. Okay, this sounds so good. Give me a bottle journaling, please. Like, I want a whole cabinet of journaling pills. How do I get this journaling? So it's really simple. I'm gonna share with you one way, because there's so many ways to journal. And I'll be covering in other videos the different ways to journal. But for this video, I'm going to share with you one way that's really simple and can get the process going. And this is called free flow or stream of consciousness journaling. And it's quite simple. First thing is just getting a journal, an empty journal. And it can be a really simple, super low-cost journal, or it could be a fancy one, whatever you like. Some people, by the way, ask me, can I type? Well, of course you can. But many people seem to benefit from the handwriting, because then you can doodle or draw or whatever you want to do. But if typing it is preferable to you, then explore that. Then you're going to be putting a date, whatever the date is. And then giving yourself full permission, uncensored permission, literally to write whatever's on your mind. Now this could be a moment where you're feeling inspired about something that happened in the day. Or it could be you're upset about something. Or it could be you really don't know what to write. You're just writing whatever is on your mind in that moment. So it might sound like this. Well, I'm starting to journal. I really don't know what to write. Like, what am I supposed to write? Is this gonna help me? I mean, I don't know. What do I write from here? That's it. Because that's literally whatever's on your mind. A couple of things to really keep in mind is don't worry about any punctuation. Don't worry about, you're not writing like a Nobel Prize, or you're not writing it to publish it somewhere. You're writing it for yourself. So the key thing with this is confidentiality. It's really important, and this is a pitfall to really avoid. Sometimes people write in their journal and leave it somewhere on a coffee table, and if have roommates or family, and then they open it and see what's the depth of your thoughts or emotions, and it may create some challenges. So I really encourage you to put it somewhere secure. Some people put it in a filing cabinet that they'll lock. Some people take it with them in the day, which is a bit risky still, because if you take it with you and you lose your bag or something, then it's out there. My recommendation is keep it at home. But it's up to you. It depends what you're writing in it. So we have confidentiality, we have free flow writing. You could also, as I mentioned earlier, if you're doing the actual written journal, you can draw, you can doodle. You're just allowing things to move. Our mind sometimes, or actually a lot of the time, fills up, and we kind of rehash stuff. So there's something about the writing that supports the process. And we are meaning-making machines. As humans, our brain loves to make sense. So the more we make sense of whatever it is that's bothering us, it can give us a new perspective, but really completely free flow. So uncensored. Another thing to keep in mind, which is actually a pitfall as well, which is sometimes people try to just write perfect grammar. So I mentioned about ignoring punctuation, but doesn't mean you don't put punctuation if you want to. If you want to write in punctuation, do that. If you want to write run-on sentences, do that. If you're inspired to write poetry, do that. If it's just a complete blah, 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 blah of upsetness, do that. With maybe some beep, beep, beep words, do that. Whatever is for you. Just giving yourself permission, literally, to allow yourself to connect and speak your truth. And this is really another important thing to do, is you are speaking your truth without censoring it, not going, should I put this? Should I not put this? Uncensored, like speak your truth. What's really on your heart, what's really on your mind. Another thing that sometimes happens is perfectionism. It really gets in the way in a lot of things. And people go, well, I didn't journal regularly, or it doesn't look as nice, the words I used weren't fancy, or I don't know, it wasn't a good piece I wrote. Well, it's not something to be published again. So letting go of perfectionism, just writing, free flow, stream of consciousness. Now, a couple other pitfalls to think about. One of them is time of day. For some people, actually, journaling this way before going to sleep really helps them fall asleep. For some people, if it's too close to bedtime, it keeps them up. They start thinking. So experiment for you. Suggestion is to consider doing it a little earlier than right at bedtime. But journaling actually can support improvements in sleep, which is another benefit, which I didn't mention earlier, but it can help with sleep as well. So it might be helpful to pick a time, because you don't have to do it every day. A couple times a week, experiment journaling. It might be on certain days before breakfast, or certain days after you finish, whether it's work or school or some activities or tasks you do in your week. So it becomes more of a habit. So maybe after watching this video, you're telling yourself, Not too complicated. Maybe I should give it a try. I encourage you to give it a try. What you got to lose? The worst thing that would happen, you're like, nah, not for me. No problem. But it could be for you. Or maybe you've journaled and stopped and you can come back to it. You will discover this truly can become a friend for a lifetime that's with you, that you can access and connect with. I hope you found this useful. If so, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And feel free to share comments below about your experiences from journaling and what you found useful from this video. And there's other links to other videos below too. Thank you for watching. May your moments be filled with ease and may you be present with as many of them